What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for tuning into the channel. It's your boy Devin Coates. This is day 6, 48 days with the 48 laws. Law number 6, court attention at all costs. You can pick up a copy of the book in the link in the description below. It is an affiliate link. I'd appreciate it if you're finding any value from these chapter reviews to pick up a book from there, and that's the way you're going to get the most out of it is if you're reading along. So law number 6, court attention at all costs. Everything is judged by its appearance. What is unseen counts for nothing. Never let yourself get lost in the crowd, then or buried in oblivion. Stand out. Be conspicuous at all costs. Make yourself a magnet of attention by appearing larger, more colorful, more mysterious than the bland, timid masses. So it's kind of like a two-part one, so I'll kind of take it across there. I'm still trying to keep them short. I'm going to do the next like 5 like that. Surround your name with the sensational and the scandalous. So basically, the whole first part is pretty much explaining how the first part of courting attention at all costs is that, number one, you want attention no matter what. So whether it's like good stuff or bad stuff, it doesn't really matter as long as you're getting people's eyes to look at you, because once people are looking at you, then you can kind of do whatever you want and divert them towards whatever your actual plan is. But the whole point is you can't be powerful and ignored. Like, people need to spend time. And he used P.T. Barnum again. And basically, just simply what that guy would do to get people to come to his shows was he would, like, there was one story where he had a beggar asking him for money. And basically, he just had him do something super weird, like lay bricks in the middle of the street and make loops into a museum, which he owned. And then eventually people were like, what the fuck is this guy doing? They would follow him into the museum, pay the ticket, and then they see everything in the museum and stop there. So he would court attention in that way. He would even write reviews. Like, if people were not really talking about a certain thing, he would write a false review that like bashed his own thing and called himself a liar. And it's like, oh, well, that's really not what's happening. And then people would want to go and check it out and find out for themselves. So he would just, whether it was good or bad, he just always wanted people's attention. And especially in the social media age, that's really what it's all about, is really courting attention. And things have not changed with that. Like, that's what your YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the people that are like the highest in the space, what they're competing for more than your money is your attention. Because if they have your attention, it's very easy to get your money from that point. The second part of this, let me get to it, is creating an air of mystery. So the first part was like, you want to kind of put yourself with like the scandalous and the, I forgot what the other word he used, but like things that are big. You either want to be something that's really amazing or kind of really crazy story. But then you want to create an air of mystery as well, because that's what's going to keep people wanting to guess and to figure out more about you. So you don't want to be an open book. It's kind of very similar to the previous laws in terms of like defending your reputation, but more so saying less than necessary. So this kind of is creating this air of mystery around you that people want to spend time in their mind figuring out. It talks about this lady who, or like, I think her name, her like nickname was Matahari, and she basically cultivated in the early 1900s in Paris that she was like from India, and she had this crazy upbringing, and she would dance and in the Indian culture kind of dances, which she kind of made all that shit up, and she would just kind of tell all these crazy stories. And this is before social media and people could really hold somebody ruthlessly accountable for making up a bunch of lies, because I just started thinking about if somebody did that in the modern day. But she created all these stories about her, like about what it was like to be in India, and she gave people room to try to figure things out. And when he gets into the keys of power, the big thing he kind of is pointing out in terms of the mystery and just everything together in courting attention is that, back in the day, when you think about our early like evolutionary design, there was so much uncertainty constantly. So that would be what your brain is trying to wrap itself around. Like, if you hear a noise at and when it's really dark out, before there's lights or electricity, that is, you don't know, that could be a beast, it could be this, it could be that. Your mind's going to be working. So we've always kind of had a mind that's going to try to divert its attention to things that we can't explain. Now that science has explained a lot of things, it's actually even bigger to get somebody to be curious and wondering and uncertain about you, because there are so many things that are certain that when you do that now, it's easier to divert somebody's attention to something they're trying to figure out. And if you want to be somebody that's wielding power, you can't be an open book. People always have to be guessing, and you always want people to be guessing and trying to figure out and think about what you're about, what you're going to do, what you're going to do next. And there's other laws that get into this, especially when you start to think about being unpredictable. The reversal he gets in, that is pretty important, but it's funny how these laws really intertwine. It's that number one, to start, you want to be controversial, air of mystery, all these things to get that original eye and attention on you. But after a while, you have to maintain the mystery. You can't, you don't want to be looked at as a liar. So all these fucking things you're doing, just like Mata Hari, because she actually ends up getting arrested for something because she made up so many crazy stories. You don't want to be viewed as a liar, and you also don't want people to be able to peg down your mysterious act. So you have to keep it fresh, but keep it consistent, and don't put too much negative things that you're just a liar. It's always like a game. It's fun. It's in good jest. And then the last part really goes back to law number one in terms of the reversal, is that if you have somebody that's a superior that you should defer the attention to them before you, that you should still follow that. And he talks about one story about a lady that came from Lola Montez, and she rose herself up from a middle class Irish girl to really hanging with the top people in the highest parts of society and social circle. But she had one event where generally, it was like a queen king event. The royal couple comes, everybody should be seated first, and nobody should be come after them. And when they appear, they should be by themselves. And basically, everybody sat down. Queen sits down. Lola Montez, looking really crazy and stunning, comes and sits down afterwards. Everybody that was at the dinner turns their head towards Lola Montez. The royal court, who's sitting opposite Lola Montez, doesn't look that direction because they want the attention. So everybody else takes suit and stops looking at Lola Montez. And then literally for nights to come and time after, she's just ignored the rest of the night. She's ignored for other weeks, and her whole reputation in England is kind of just completely destroyed because of that event. Because since the queen wasn't paying attention, nobody wanted to pay attention. So that's just how important attention is. But you don't want to overstep that original don't outshine the master law. So that's it for this. If you like number one, if you like the content, pick up the book. That's how you'll get the most out of it. The stories, I'm not even doing them justice. I'm giving a real brief run through. This was law number 6. Pick up your copy in the link in the description below. It is an affiliate link, and it will go to my website, which is definitely under construction. And I don't know how much time I'm going to have because I'm going to Orlando tomorrow for work. But if you like the content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave some comments below. And if you've been watching all of them, I've definitely kind of tried to change up the format and make it a lot quicker, the way that I get through the material. So tell me which one you like, and I'll kind of stick towards that format. Until next time, I'll see you tomorrow. I might be batching some videos because of this trip to Orlando, but I'm going to get all the reading done. And this is something that you can do. 48 days, consume a book. It's a very doable reading schedule. Hopefully you guys are staying along. Until next time, you know what it is. It's your boy Deep Coach. Peace.